back on the right side of the state here in eastern Montana. Thank you all for being here tonight. This is fantastic. I want to thank Jake for putting this together. Folks, we've got some great things going on in Montana, right? We've got control of the land board, we've got solid majorities in the legislature, but we've still got the Joe Biden administration that's really holding us down. Now, one of the things that I'm tasked with doing as your Attorney General, I'm dealing with the crime problem. I'm dealing with the drugs problem. I'm the chief law enforcement officer in the state. And one of the things that we've really had to push back hard on is this whole defund the police garbage. We are blessed because we don't cotton to that business here in Montana. We do not do defund the police. But one of the real struggles that I've had in my office is we might not be passing defund the police. We might have Democrats in Montana running from the defund the police idea. But the truth is the Biden administration's policy are having the effect of defunding our police. Everything that I have to buy for the Montana Highway Patrol, for the Division of Criminal Investigation, for our narcotics officers, for our human trafficking officers, the cost of everything has gone up. Inflation is real. I don't care if you're talking about bullets for a Glock or if you're talking about fuel in the tank of a highway patrol trooper. We are having a really difficult time keeping those costs under control. We're going to have to go to the legislature and ask for supplemental budget authority just because those costs keep going up as a result of Joe Biden's failed economic policies. And we know this is a problem here in Montana because we're seeing more and more and more of it. And I want that segues to another Joe Biden problem that we've got, and we're feeling it specifically right here in Billings and in eastern Montana. That's the drug and the fentanyl and the crime problem. This, to me, is the #1 issue facing not only the state of Montana, but every state in the country. Fentanyl has rapidly caught up to methamphetamine. Methamphetamine used to be king. I would say methamphetamine is still our top priority, but fentanyl is right there. It's catching up. We know where it's coming from. All of these drugs are coming from the southern border because the southern border is completely unsecured because of this president's failed policies. We are so lucky to have a congressman in Washington, D.C. who understands this. He's been down there on his own accord, absolutely. Matt Rosendale has been down the southern border on his own accord a couple of times, despite the fact that the Biden administration doesn't want to let him go down there, despite the fact they've canceled a couple of those trips. He's been down there, he's seen it for himself. I could not ask for a better partner standing side by side with my office in Washington, D.C. than Matt Rosendale. It is absolutely imperative that we send him back. Matt is a guy that I've known since my freshman session in the legislature. Matt and I served together for a couple sessions in the legislature. We were both elected to the State House in 2011. There's no question what a solid conservative, social conservative, fiscal conservative, law and order representative that Matt is. He's one of my closest friends, and I could not be more thrilled to be up here supporting him. We need your help. You've got to get the vote out. Tell your neighbors, tell your church group, tell your friends. Get out, turn your ballots in, get to the polling places, and pull that lever for Matt Rosendale and for Jim Brown. Yes. Folks, my office has filed lots of lawsuits. You heard Jake talk about all the federal lawsuits that we filed. We're also defending all of the fantastic conservative legislation that your Republican majorities in the legislature passed and our fantastic governor, Greg Gianforte, signed into law. I'm talking about election integrity. Let's talk about election integrity. You've got a local judge right here in Billings that tossed out 3 of the most important election integrity bills that the legislature has passed in the last 20 years. Threw them all out. Judge Moses. That's the same judge that threw out all of our pro-life bills. We've got a judge problem in the state, folks. It starts at the Montana Supreme Court, but it goes all the way down through our judicial races. I think probably one of the most important races on the ballot this cycle is James Brown for the Montana Supreme Court. Ingrid Gustafson has got to go. She has done tremendous damage, and I can talk about that just as far as criminal procedure, stuff that's not making the headlines. This is a justice that does not believe in the justice system. She does not believe in incarceration. She does not believe in holding criminals accountable. And I challenge you all, go out and look at her record and see some of the opinions that she's authored and gotten her liberal friends on the Montana Supreme Court to sign off on. She's dangerous. She cannot be retained. She's got to go. So I've got two asks. Help us get Matt Rosendale across the line, and help us get James Brown elected to the Montana Supreme Court. That's the last bastion for us. We've got the legislature, we've got the executive branch, we have got to get the judicial branch under control. The trial lawyers know that is the last stand for them. They're fighting tooth and nail. They're going to throw all their resources at this race because they know we're coming for it. We have got to get a handle on the judiciary. With that, I'm going to step aside. We've got plenty of other people that need to talk. Thank you so much for being here tonight. It's a pleasure to be here. It's my honor to be your Attorney General. Truly one of the most humbling things I've ever gotten to do in my life. I go to work smiling every day for all the fights I get to have and being the most hated guy in Helena. I love it. Thank you very much.